I take this pride and great opportunity to introduce Ahan is one of the great leaders in WFM and works for Walmart and as a global WFM head and analytics who's based out of US. And he's going to talk about imagined future of WFM, which is very essential. And he's going to share about what he is doing currently. Ian is a black belt in Six Sigma and 2 decades of experience working in multiple, global teams like in North America, EMEA, Asia, Central, and South America. Ian is service delivery operations leader and also served as a site leader, people management, and also been in recruitment and learning and development and many other areas. And also has worked in global command center, especially getting the reporting and analytics part of it, and also working on cost optimization and resource optimization, and also in P&L accountability perspective. Good to have Han with us. And can we have you here?
Can you hear us?
Can
you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Ian, finished.
Yeah.
Then I'll say a few words once you're done. Yeah.
No, I think you should go, Partho. It's fine. We can hear you now. I think you should go before me. Go for it.
Okay. It's an amazing feeling to have such a wide international audience with us today. GWFM is truly blessed today. We are blessed because we have all these people joining in from across the world, and we are blessed because we have 50-odd key leaders from the domain of workforce management to support us in our quest to take workforce management across the world. Workforce management was never the topic of discussion in conferences, and that too in virtual conferences, never. So with NICE as a major support for GWFM, we're able to put together this awesome conference. We are grateful. We are grateful to have all of you. Let's have a wonderful rocking time for the next 2 days, and let's also celebrate tomorrow the Workforce Management Professionals Day. I welcome Ian now to take over and go ahead and deliver his keynote address. Thank you, Ian. Wonderful meeting you here. And
same here, Partho. Thank you.
Looking forward. Thank you, Ian. God bless.
Thanks. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, guys. My name is Ian Bastian. So I work for Walmart.com. I support multiple businesses at Walmart, which includes grocery, payments and risk, fraud, and a couple of companies that Walmart has acquired in the past couple of years. So I take care of their overall workforce reporting, P&Ls, which include, all of customer care org, which includes BPO, force. I realized that, hey, you know what? There are way more smarter people in this room or in this panel than me. So I thought I would pick up a topic that really, that can help, because I work with a lot of BPOs. We outsource a lot across the globe. And I mean, I work with different workforce management teams, reporting teams, data teams, companies, any company, any tool you can name it, Aspect, NICE, we have it all. But again, I wanted to cover, like I said, we've experienced COVID, when COVID hit us, we had to do multiple different things. The first thing I want to talk about is the next biggest skill that organizations really look for, and what made me successful in workforce or in anything I did. So I have lived in about 7 different countries, moved around quite a bit, all for work. I live in Dallas, Texas now. As you can see, it's really late night here. But one thing that really, I think in any industry that you really need to have, that one skill is problem solving, right? Many times I've noticed we have people that would just be onboarded or people who just go with the flow. And I tell people, you don't have to go with the flow. Only dead fish do that. And that's very difficult, especially for newcomers, right? Where they want to come and fit in and they're just there. I think the next biggest thing is how quickly we can really solve problems, right? One of the things is scheduling, right? If you look at scheduling, okay, somebody shows up late every Thursday for 15 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour. What do? Do they get penalized? Or do we really go attack the problem? Do we say, you know what, hey, what's happening? We show up every day on time, but what's happening on Thursday? But if you look at it, 99% of the processes that many companies, including us, design, we design it based on bad behavior. We look at 5% of the people who are really crazy with absenteeism, with shrinkage, with crazy stuff that's happening. We use that and we really create a process. And I think we really need to evolve from that and really start looking at the positive, right? So if somebody's working 40-hour shift and they show up an hour late for a week, I mean, in reality, that's about 2.5% of bad behavior. Are we talking more about the 2.5% or the 97.5% good behavior? And I think that's what, we're trying to overcome. We're trying to look at, things that can really make a change, that can really look at how can we drive this? How can we really solve these kind of problems? We have the best tools that can give us, but the tools can only do so much for you unless the person who's pressing the button needs to have empathy, sympathy, passion. These are the things that really apply for a working tool. Otherwise, it's just spitting out numbers, right? That's the biggest thing I think that, in the next 5 years, 10 years, any company, right, name it, that'll pay you $15, $20 an hour. Or if you're working somewhere in India, every company from a startup to the top-notch company will pay you. If they pay an agent $50,000, $30,000, everybody will pay you that same money. Are they going to stay with you because of the money now, or are they going to stay with you because of a good schedule, or are they empowered? Can they make their own decisions? And I think that's what we need to start looking at now, because 5, 6 years from now, it will already be here. Now, it's already there. Many companies are trying to do it, try to stay ahead of it, and it's a learning, right? It's a learning experience for all of us. For me, it's no longer about passion. Workforce or this call center industry or this customer care service industry is no longer about passion. Today, it's all about obsession. I'm way over passion, and I think sometimes we have to really go all out and try to do our level best to see what we can do next. I always tell my team, the most important thing that my leaders should do is empowerment, right? Talk to your team, let them make decisions, let them fail many times as they can, right? I'm sure you can hold them accountable for it in different ways. But I think the most important thing that I think we don't allow our people is really giving them the empowerment and letting them fail. The workforce team that I have built, I've done it in my past job, I've done it previously. I usually hire about 10 to 15% who's never heard the word workforce at all. They're completely new, they've never heard it, they've never seen it. The first time they hear about workforce is in the interview room. The only thing I look at is, are they passionate? Are they obsessed? Do they have the skills? When I say skill, to solve a problem, how are they using their brains? And the reason why I hire 10% of complete new folks is because they can question the normal, right? Hey, why are you doing something like this? Hey, why can't we do something like that? Which people like me sometimes wonder, hey, why didn't I think about it in my 15, 20-year career? So, I started working with interns at different companies, and that really helped me. So I just applied that
to take it forward in my career, where I really get 10% who really don't know anything about the industry I do anything about. So they can really come in and question that norm, right? That's what I do from point of view. And the next thing is growth, right? We're seeing a lot of growth, especially in the e-commerce industry, right? You're going to see a lot of companies grow a lot because people are going to shop more online. You know, everything is just going to get like people now who are really trying to shop, who have never shopped online, have shopped online suddenly because of the COVID, and they're never going to go back because they know how easy it is to shop online and get their products. So my team has really been growing a lot, right? We really grow aggressively. And in most times for people here, you know, we are in a bubble where we talk about growth, right? I always tell my team members, right, you've got to, you know, you've got to be performing your boss's job. That's the only way you'll get the next role. You know, you don't wait to be ready, right? You've got to stay ready. That's how it always works. And one request I have for everyone who really I work with, you're always performing your role. And when growth comes and when you don't get it, you're really disappointed about it, right? And I think with the growth that's happening in this industry, I think people have to go take that step ahead. So if I'm a supervisor, I should already be doing a supervisor's job and also a manager's job. That's the only way I'm going to be prepared. My mind has to think one step ahead, right? And the second most important thing with growth is many times people would do something amazing for a week or two or a month or 3 months or 6 months and then want to be a manager. And the thing I ask my team is when they come to me and say, the newbies who tell me, hey, I want to be a manager, can I apply? So I say, see, experience is like building muscle or losing weight, right? You really can't go to the gym one night or 2 nights, lift some weights, and next morning say, where's my muscles? It just doesn't work that way. It's a process. It takes time for everything to grow. And that's how experience should be, right? One of the most important things that stand with me is becoming is better than being. You got to focus on what you're becoming. It's very important to do that. Many times I see very good youngsters who have a lot of talent, who have a lot of skill, who's ready to go out there and do it all, but they lack the patience, which is again the building muscle exercise, right? You can't go 1 week to the gym, and if your muscles didn't show up, you don't quit. So I think that's what I want to really encourage people here to start looking at that, right? Because as we grow, as we evolve, it's very important to really look at yourself, raise your bar every day, raise the standards for your team, for yourself, for the organization. You know, if you look at amazing companies, I mean, there's a lot of companies here, everybody's doing something different. You got to really, they solve problems differently, they do things differently. You know, and to me, problem solving again stands out because there's a thing, right? Your salary is directly proportional to the problems you solve. You solve small problems, you're going to get paid small. You solve big problems, you're going to get paid big. If you go and ask anyone in any higher level, right? You ask them, hey, what do you do? The only thing they'll say is I solve problems, right? And that's the thing you want to look for. You got to start really early, right? Many times, oh, the forecast is wrong. Oh, absenteeism is high. Okay, what are you doing about it? That's what people want to really hear, not the problem. I can call my 9-year-old and say, hey, tell me 10 things you're upset about, and he'll blabber 20, right? And I think that's what is going to really make or break the standards for you. I mean, raising the bar for my team, raising it for yourself individually, and really using the benefit. Train yourself every day. There are amazing folks, right? That can really help you out if you need it. Your boss, your colleague, somebody in another department, and I always work that way. See, when I look at when I meet amazing people, this is what happens to me, right? When I meet amazing people in life, there's this weird thing that washes into my brain that says how small you really are, but at the same time, how big you could be. And that's more important than anything else. there's opportunities there. You have to raise the standards. You just can't show up to work every morning just to do 2-3 reports, move away. You've got to know what you're doing for the week. You've got to know what you're doing for the day. Train yourself. There's amazing tools out there. There's really things that can really benefit you, right? There's a saying where 3% of the people in this world really know what they want. They write down what they want, and the rest of the 97% work for them. And so my thing is just go ahead and focus on that. Enjoy this conference. It's going to be amazing. Again, I didn't want to talk about a lot of workforce stuff because I know there's a lot of folks in here who are going to share a lot of their knowledge. Understand, I'm going to be here in and out because it's really late here. But again, end of the day, with everything that's happening, we have to do our level best for our customers. To me, my most important customer is an agent who's taking calls. That's my customer. That's what I tell my team. If I can take care of that person, and if I go all out there to do my level best for that person, that makes the ecosystem easy. If you can do that, you've already nailed the system, right? See, the world is a crazy place. We all know that. And I'm not any better, but we at least have to try. We have to try day in, day out. Go ahead, give it all you got. Have conversations with people who are with yourself, with people. And many times we have to, really look at having conversations. Many times I've been in workforce, and if you go to any teams, you're invited to a team meeting and you say, hey, I need another 80 people. Nobody wants to hear that, right? It's like you're invited to a firefighter conference and you're not allowed to talk about water. But end of the day, you have to deliver that message and really stand up by what you really can deliver. And that's more important. And then people will start believing in you. People will really look up to say, okay, this is the team. Because as long as you take care of my kids, I say workforce is like a family, right? The entire customer service industry is like a family, where you have the kids who are your agents, you have the mom and dad who's ops. We are the support group, right? We're just the uncles, the aunts. You have HR who's like, you have all these departments, training. We are just the support system. And end of the day, I tell people, I tell ops, if you want to give your kids drugs, I'm nobody to judge, but I'm telling you it's wrong, right? And so that way they own the ownership of really empowering their kids to get better. Really, and you are the support system who can do everything it can because that's your niece or your nephew or whatever it is. And that's how I look at it day in and day out. I want to cut it off here, and really take some questions, maybe for 5 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 questions. But again, I know it's really difficult to be in this industry, especially workforce, right? You have ups, you have downs, and sometimes you just have all ups. Sometimes you think you're completely on top, and then you realize you're on the wrong ladder. And I think you need to really find a balance, try to see what you can do, introduce a lot of self options where employees can be empowered to really self-service themselves, and really do something different. And that's what we are trying to achieve, and we'll continue to do that, and learn something new from you guys each and every day. So thank you. So any questions that I can answer? Maybe 1 or 2 if I have to.
Thanks, Ahan. You're all, here is a chat window. As I mentioned, you can ask your question here. And if any of you have other option is like you can raise your hand so that I can unmute you and ask your question. Any questions for Ian?
All right, you guys made it easy.
People still getting used to the system, I guess. So.
All right, I'll just give it a minute maybe, just to make sure we didn't miss anything.
I see a team from India and Manila. I see team from India, Manila, and APAC has joined, including Australia. Good to have them with us. I'm just trying to look at if there are any questions. You can raise your hand up here. There's an hand icon. Yeah, here Yogesh is a one. I was asking question. Yogesh Sharma. Yogesh, I'm just unmuting you. Go ahead.
Sure, thanks. Hi, Ian. That was a great session. Really like that. Um, just a quick question on the agent work-life balance. So, what kind of practices and tools have you put in place at Walmart for enabling work-life balance for agents? Because primarily in these COVID times, I believe it is primarily important for agents to have scheduling flexibility. So, could you please emphasize on what practices and what tools you have provided your agents for work-life balance?
So what we've done is usually, during times like this or during normal times, we are not fully live, but what we're upgrading here into is, availability-based scheduling, right? Which means where you go ahead and pick your schedule, and we'll tell you if it works or not, right? So we run two scenarios. Scenario number one is, is A, here's your schedule, and for the next 2 weeks, go ahead and paint your availability of what you can work. So we run a scenario. With scenario one, we say, okay, this we know will definitely meet. Let's run scenario number two. What if we gave everyone the schedule what they want? How does it look like? Does it, okay, what if I take 10% from there? What if I take 20% from here? So we try to evolve that and say, okay, how can we mix and match? But end of the day, in order to find that balance, what we do is we give people an opportunity to pick their schedule, availability. If you can work just 2 hours, who am I to judge, right? You can paint, and then we'll give you that schedule there. But if we cannot, but the catch is, if you paint an availability of 40 hours, then I'm only going to give you a minimum, a maximum of between 25 and 32 hours. But if I give you a schedule, then I'll give you full 40 hours because I'm giving you the time where I want you to work. So we run multiple different scenarios, and we don't keep the same schedule because sometimes if somebody wants to, go to their family member's house or whatever and work from there, or do something different, so they get an opportunity to really, have a different schedule every 4 weeks or every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks. Because just giving them the same schedule also, hurts them a lot. And the other thing is, if you look at it, and many times I found out, especially I've seen in this customer service industry, is that, when you do a shift bid, 99% of the good top employees will say, I want a Saturday and Sunday off, right? So you're left with giving me all agents with a higher AHT, bad CSAT on a Saturday and Sunday. So my customers, my Saturday and Sunday is really bad because, I'm getting all these folks who are really getting these bad schedules. So that's how I balance. And we also make sure that we work with availability, and agents availability. I know it takes us, if I use about an extra scheduler, if it's 1,000:1 or 500:1, I say, okay, 500:2. Let's do this manually, right? If we have to. For the 10%, not for the all 100%, for the 10% that we are missing. What if we go to 10 people instead of making 100 people's life miserable? Let's go to 10 people and give them an offer of, hey, can you work this time this week, and next week I'll give you whatever you want. And that's how we do it.
Thanks, Ian. That answered the question. Thank you so much.
All right, cool. I see another question here, that what do you think we should do to succeed in workforce management?
That was a question from Swapnil. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a very good question, right? To me, workforce gets very little credit for what they do, and that's just the reality. Many times I visit BPOs or I go to different teams and I see, and I ask them, where's the workforce, right? Where's the workforce? And it's never there, but yet these are the folks who really know that. Attrition, the absenteeism, you name it, right? And I think in order to be very successful in workforce, you've got to put yourself out, especially for leaders, right? In the organization, you've got to sell you and your team. The more people know about you, the more they know about your product, that would really create success for everyone. But again, if you're talking about a skill, the biggest skill, like I said, for me, that has really helped me is problem solving. Day in and day out, my teams come to me and tell me, hey, you know what? I have this problem, I have that problem. I tell them, you know what? Those are the problems your manager can solve. because those are really small problems. I only focus, I know that personally for me, I spend at least in a day, I want to solve one major problem and really try to see. When I say I solve one major problem every day, I don't mean every day. I pick up a problem for a day and try to work on it day in and day out. And that I think is really the standard to really succeed at Workforce. That will make HR's life easier, training's life easier, QA creates the entire ecosystem that will really connect. Does that answer your question, Swapnil?
I'll mute Swapnil. Swapnil, I just unmuted you. Is it fine?
Thanks, Siva. Yes, Ian, that surely answers. I really picked up the point where you said, you believe in hiring 10% of the newbies into workforce who don't know anything about WFM. I think that really creates the passion that we are looking for into our team. Yeah, that answers my question. Ian, thank you.
And most importantly, like I said, right, many times we got to beat the metrics, not the agents. And if you that out, you are already in a win-win situation. If you beat the agents, you're just your attrition is going to be high, your shrinkage is you're going to keep running after it. So if you beat the metrics, why is my AHT high? Why is my shrinkage high? Then you'll really get to the point.
Sure, thank you, Ian.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Swapnil. And we have Lalit Chavan from Manila. Lalit, I have unmuted you. You can shoot. Can I have a question now?
Hi, Ian.
Yeah, I hear you, Lalit.
Hey, good morning, and thank you for giving this, knowledge capsule to us. I have just one question, and the question is around the technology and the collaboration of WFM. As you can see, that the technology is evolving, and we have artificial intelligence coming in. We have RPAs coming in, and the traditional ancient WFM still runs on Workforce, on Microsoft Excel mostly, and then along with that Tableau, Power BI. So which one do you suggest as a top hot skill which we should immerse our WFM, our future WFM professionals with?
See, I mean, when it comes to scheduling and planning and all of that, we use multiple different tools. But when it comes to forecasting, what we have done is what we do is we have people from, like I said, I bring in 10% that have no knowledge with Workforce. They come with knowledge like Python, R. So we use those kind of methods and tools, just not Excel, to really generate our forecasting, right? Because end of the day, we get a marketing forecast, or we get whatever forecast every team gets, right? I think tools like that should be used to its advantage. Just the typical Excel or Aspect or Nice or whatever, right? Those are the benefits that can really support you. But you also need a second eye, and the second eye just should not be Excel. It should be we use Python and we use R as well. That really takes us to the next level, to the top notch.
Thank you.
Right. We have one more question, and Kabir Singh. Kabir Singh is the one who's asking question. Kabir, you can ask question to Ayan. Can you hear us?
I can't hear Kabir.
Hi, I've got no questions. It just mistakenly clicked on that button.
Cool. I mean, lastly, guys, I would just end this time by saying thank you. And the most important thing that I wanted to really also call out here, that I wanted to mention on this call is, many times, if you when you have workforce teams, I see a lot of workforce teams, and if you want to really get the best and the max out of them, you got to give them metrics they have control over, not something they can't control. In my team, or I've always done this for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's really what I've done is basically I've given them metrics that they have control over. To give you an example is, many times if you go and ask your workforce analyst or your resource planning analyst or whoever it is that does your forecasting or scheduling or whatever, hey, what's your bonus rated on? Many times they'll say, oh, if we meet service level, I get it. Oh, if we meet, but that person doesn't control service level, right? I mean, he can determine how many is needed to get to that service level, but he or she doesn't control that service level. If 40 agents in the Philippines or in the US or in India, if those team members don't show up, why should this person really pay the price by getting his bonus cut off or her bonus cut off? So I think you really need to look at, if you want to keep that as a metric, that should not hold more than 5% weightage, if you really want to do it. But many times you will walk into companies that I've experienced that they have metrics over things like, oh, 50%, if we meet service level, you get it. Then you've already lost the game, because that person knows he's never controlling that. Unless they can touch it and feel it, they are not going to give it all you got. So something for you guys to really, really look up on is how can you really define these things and really keep it under control. Give them metrics, give your leaders, give your your workers or whoever works with you the metrics they can really, really control. So in that way, they start taking ownership, and the blame goes back, right? Because many times, oh, it's ops, oh, it's WFM, oh, it's this one. It goes away because now you get to control that metric. Even sometimes I take away forecasting too, because what if, being in an e-commerce world, what if we launched a marketing campaign, right? What happens? This person doesn't know about it. It just launched. And now I got 80,000 more contacts. So I give them metrics. That's something that, accuracy, being creative, how can you come up with solutions? What you have in Oracle, or that's what we call it. We call it resource planning. So you have resource planning file number 1. You've used it for 8 months. Is it time for an upgrade? Whatever we learned for 8 months. Those are the things I really, how's your accuracy? When you're giving me the numbers, are they very accurate if I run it with 5 different systems? Those are the things that you would really give them control, and you'll see wonders happen in your team. All right, so thanks guys, I appreciate it. If there's anything you guys need or anybody has questions or help, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm always there, and I'm really glad to be a part of this. Shiv, Parthav, thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed. It's really indeed great having you with us today, and it was really insightful. I'm sure that our fellow WFM professionals who were there in the audience list now, I think they got really immense learning and also good insights. And I liked about the last one that like we need to run with the metrics, right? Without which it's like like shooting in the dark. That's really immense knowledge sharing and also great insightful. Well, thank you so much. If there are any questions offline, we'll take it up and we'll reach out to Anne. So thank you so much, and having you with us.
Yeah, from everybody who are there on this session, I definitely want to say it was a beautiful opening to a great morning.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
For me, end of the day, it's all about people. I really only care about people, and that's why. I have managed operations. I've set up sites, and many times I did all operations. But many times people have this perception that workforce is all about numbers. That's absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. We care more about people than anybody else, but we're after a metric, which you're telling us to chase. And I think if we switch the game, if we change the game, get a little more better at without overthinking it. Don't think every time you're going to fix the ball. And that's it. You have already nailed it. And I know there's awesome people there. There are a lot of people who are way smarter than me. I have my team who's way smarter than me. And they learn every day. And I'm there to empower them every day to just get the best out of it. That's it. So thank you guys.
Awesome.